Quadratic formula. Okay, so for this, we are always using this formula right here, and this equals our zeros. Okay, so this is the same thing as factoring. When you're factoring, you're finding your zeros, and that is once again where our graphs cross the x-axis, wherever that may be. Okay, so these would be our zeros right here. Or upside down, be zeros there. Okay, it's where it's where the graph crosses our x-axis. So let's write down this question: 10x squared equals 6 plus 9x. Okay. So the first thing you want to form. So we're going to move from one side to the other. I'm going to keep my x squared, whatever number that is, positive. So because I'm going to move these two guys to the left, that's going to be subtract 6 and subtract 9x from both sides. So we're going to get 10x squared minus 9x minus 6 equals 0. Okay. Now once we have it in standard form, our b and our c, and those are the coefficients. So the first number is a, second is b, and c constant is c. Last number, I should say. And now we're just plugging these numbers in up here. So our b goes first, so it's a negative. I'm going to rewrite the equation. Like that. Okay? And we're just going to fill in the right numbers. So b and b go first. A goes on bottom, and it's A right here, and then there's only one C at the very end. Okay, so B and B is -9. A and A go here. I'll make that in red, and we'll make our C in green. Oh, whoops, I wrote A. I should write 10. There you go. And our C is -6. Now evaluate where you can, step by step. So negative turns this into a positive. So we get positive 9, plus and minus. Plus and minus is where you get 2 zeros most often. -9 squared is positive 81. 4 times 6, you can do this in the order. So I'm going to do 4 times 6 is 24. And then 24 times 10 is 240. Now we have 1 negative and 2 negatives. So 2 negatives turns into a positive. And this is all over 2 times 10, which is 20. We can evaluate 81 and 240. That turns into 321. If you don't know that in your head, just do it in the calculator or on paper. Okay, and let's see if that's an option. I bet that's an option. -9. Oh, you can't see the very bottom. Can you? There it is. -9 plus and minus square root of 321 over 20. Oh, I made a mistake. This 9 should turn positive. Right. I think I talked about that. I just wrote down negative. So it looks like it's B. Before I move on, I want to show you. When you get this square root of 321, you can put in the calculator. So second, and then, let's see, can we autofocus? Where is my autofocus button? There it is. So where my thumb is, it's the squared button. Behind it, in blue, is the square root. So if you hit second, which I did already, I'm going to clear it out. So hit second up here, the blue one, and then the square root button, you'll get square root. And then type in 321, parenthesis. If it's a decimal, then you're going to leave your answer like this. You might be able to simplify your square root, your rational, a little bit more, radical, a little bit more. But you can't. This is an appropriate answer. So that's why they have this like that. Next question. Okay, so it's not standard form again. 3x equals 9x squared minus 10. All right, so here we are. Let's subtract 3x from both sides. So we're going to get 9x squared minus 3x minus 10 equals 0. 0 on the other side. All right, now we know our a, our b, and our c. Let me go a little bit faster this time. So we have a negative sign and then a -3, so that's going to turn positive. I read that wrong last time for a second. And then -3 squared. This negative will always go away. This will always turn positive, okay? So you don't need to write that negative in here. Out here you do. In here it's going to go away every single time, so sometimes I don't write it. 4 times a is 9 times c is -10, all over 2 times a. Okay, evaluate, +3. Got it right this time. 4 times 9 is 36, times 10 is 360, and we have a double negative, so it's positive again. And -20. 9 and 369, sorry, 9 and 360 make 369. I'm checking in my calculator to see if it's a perfect square root. It is not. So, this will be our answer. Why don't I see it is a better question. 3 plus minus. Did I make a mistake somewhere? Okay, I made a mistake. Again, I was going too fast. -10. This should have been 9. It's A, not C. Okay, so that goes to be 9. 2 times 9 is +18. Okay, and now we can do something. We can actually, so we have +18 down here. We can simplify this radical a little bit more. So let's look at square root of 369 only right now. Let's see what we can do with this. If we take this number, 369, and start dividing whole square roots, so 1, 4, 9, so I'm just doing 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16, 5 times 5 is 25, 36, 49. I'm going to start at the top. Okay, divide by 1 does not help. Divide by 4, it's an odd number. It's not going to go into 4. Or 4 is not going to go into it. 9 might, though, and actually it already did. I checked it while I paused the video. 369 over 9. So what we can do is rewrite this 369 as 41 times the square root of 9. And now we know what this is. This is equal to 3. So we can rewrite this once again as 3 times square root of 41. All right, so I'm going to erase my square root of 316. Actually, I just left that. No, I need to erase it. Okay. 3 square root 41. And one other thing I do is this 18 I can rewrite as 3 times 6. So now all my 3's cancel out. And I'm going to get a 1 everywhere. Okay. The 1's here are going to go away. They're just going to be assumed. But that 1's important. So our final answer is 1 plus and minus square root of 41 all over 6. Okay. And that is right here. I don't know why it's negative. That is interesting to me. Huh. Yeah, I don't know why they're negative, the first two numbers. I guess you can multiply everything by -1 because this is plus and minus, so that would work. It's whether they're making it that way. They should both be positive, typically be positive. So, but you can multiply the entire equation by -1, and because this is plus and minus 1, or plus and minus, when you do the negative, it doesn't impact anything because you already have the plus and minus. So it's the same answer. It's just funny that they added the negative signs in the front. I don't know why they did that. Maybe to bring it up as part of a discussion point. Okay. Next question. Okay, they're really trying to get funky with us here. 3x squared plus 1 minus 7x equals 13x squared. All right. Because this is our bigger one, that's our smaller x squared, I'm moving this way. It seems like it's more work, but it's not. We're just going to subtract everything. Or not subtract, but the opposite. So 3x squared minus 1 and plus 7x. So 10x squared plus 7x minus 1 equals 0. A, B, and C. Let's hope I do it right this time. Start to finish. Negative 7 plus minus square root of 7 times 7 is 49. 4ac, so it's 4 times a times c. It's minus, actually. 4 times 10 times negative 1, all over 2 times a. A is 10, so that's 20. All right, this inside becomes 49 minus 4 times 10 is 40. What becomes a positive 40, so 49 plus 40 is, what is it, 89. Negative 7 plus minus over 20. 89 has no perfect square roots, and you can't pull anything out. So we should be done here. Let's see if there's an answer that matches that up. 7 plus minus 89, negative 20. So we did the negative sign again. I think they're moving everything to the left side, which is why these things are turning out negative, because our numbers will be opposite signs. But remember, we multiply everything by negative 1 to get the same answer. And we're done.